Have you ever pondered about the nature of our reality? We often take it for granted that the world we experience is real and true. But what if I told you that there's a possibility we're all living in a computer simulation? Crazy, right? Well, stay with me because the evidence I'm about to share with you might just make you question everything you know about our existence. You won't believe the shocking twist at the end. If you think this sounds like a plot from a sci-fi movie, you're not alone. For centuries, philosophers have debated the possibility of living in a simulation, but in recent times, scientists have also jumped on the bandwagon, albeit with a more analytical approach. In 2003, the late Stephen Hawking suggested during a conference that our universe could be nothing but a computer simulation created by a highly advanced civilization. He even went as far as saying that such simulations are likely to become commonplace in the future. But hold on a second. Just because a renowned physicist like Hawking suggested this doesn't mean it's fact. After all, he's not exactly known for being wrong. The idea of living in a simulation isn't just a product of science fiction or wild speculation. It's a legitimate scientific theory backed by some pretty big names. If you want to sound smart when people bring up the simulation hypothesis, here's how you can do it. Physicist David Deutsch argues that if we're living in a simulation, we should be able to detect glitches in the matrix. For example, why don't we observe the doubling of particles when we measure them? Or why does time only move forward? Deutsch suggests that these so-called anomalies may be evidence of our simulated reality. By the way, this is called the participatory universe. This means that our observation or interaction with the universe causes the universe to collapse and then re-emerge with new properties based on our observations. Now here's where things get really interesting. Physicist Max Tegmark, who's currently at MIT, has taken this one step further. He proposes that our universe may actually be infinite. And here's why. When you zoom out and look at the entire universe, it looks like an endless void. But what if that's just an illusion? What if there are other universes beyond our own, each with their own unique set of physical laws and constants? Now, that would explain why we don't see any doubling of particles or other anomalies. It's because they only exist in other simulated realities. Mind-blowing, right? But wait, there's more. What if these other universes aren't just theoretical constructs? What if they actually exist and are accessible to us? That's where things get really crazy. According to Tegmark, the only thing that would prevent us from exploring these other universes is our lack of technology. So if we could somehow advance our technology to a level where we can detect these anomalies and potentially create portals between universes, we could literally travel to other planets. But what if I told you we've already done it? Well, that may sound like a far-fetched idea, but there is a real case that fits perfectly into the simulation hypothesis, the sim case. In 1991, a team of scientists led by physicist Arno Penzias stumbled upon something truly remarkable. They discovered that our universe has a strange background radiation that fills every nook and cranny of space. It doesn't matter where you go or how far away you look, this radiation is everywhere. But what's really mind-blowing is that this radiation is uniform in all directions. Like seriously, it's almost impossible to comprehend the vastness of space. And the fact that this radiation is evenly spread out across the entire universe is just mind-boggling. But that's not all. This radiation has a temperature of 2.7 Kelvin, which is just a few degrees above absolute zero. What's even more surprising is that this temperature is the same everywhere in the universe. So how do we make sense of these mind-boggling findings? Enter the Big Bang theory. It suggests that our universe started off as an incredibly hot and dense ball of energy. Then, approximately 13.8 billion years ago, there was a massive explosion. This marked the beginning of the universe as we know it. As the universe expanded, it cooled down, allowing for the formation of galaxies, stars, and planets. But let's think outside the box for a moment. What if this background radiation is not just a remnant of the Big Bang? What if it's actually the radiation from the universe's border? Picture this. The universe is like a giant box with walls that stretch on forever. The radiation bouncing off these walls is what we're detecting. But here's the kicker. If the universe really is infinite, there shouldn't be any walls. So what gives? This is where things get really interesting. Some scientists hypothesize that our universe may not be infinitely large, but rather it's enclosed within a three-dimensional sphere. This means that the radiation we're detecting could actually be coming from the other side of the universe, giving us a glimpse into a parallel reality. This might sound like a convoluted theory, but it's actually quite elegant. Imagine standing on a flat surface like a beach and you hear waves crashing in front of you. But what if you couldn't see the waves? All you had was the sound. Would you assume the waves were coming from somewhere else? Maybe behind a wall? Well, if the universe is a giant beach and the radiation is the sound of the waves, we might be hearing the echoes of another universe on the other side of our own. But that's not all. This idea of a spherical universe neatly explains the uniformity of the background radiation. Since the radiation is bouncing off the walls of the universe, it has a chance to spread out and become uniform before reaching our detectors. It's like a cosmic game of ping-pong where the universe is the table and the radiation is the ball. But who's playing on the other side? Are we talking about another civilization, maybe even one that's more advanced than ours? Or could it be something else entirely? You might be wondering, if the universe is really a closed sphere, wouldn't we have noticed a bump where the two ends meet? Well, here's where things get really mind-boggling. Scientists have actually looked for such bumps, and you know what they found? Nothing. Our universe appears to be smooth and continuous with no obvious boundaries. It's like trying to find the edge of a dream. No matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to get there. But wait, there's more. If the universe is really a simulation, why are we living inside it? Who created this simulation and for what purpose? Enter the Fermi paradox. It's a perplexing question that arises when we consider the high probability of extraterrestrial life. Given the vastness of the universe and the number of Earth-like planets out there, it seems statistically improbable that we're the only ones. But despite numerous searches, we haven't detected any signs of intelligent alien life. So where are they? Have they all perished, or are they simply hiding? The simulation hypothesis offers an intriguing perspective on this paradox. If we're living in a simulation, it's possible that our creators intentionally chose not to reveal themselves to us. Maybe they wanted us to explore and discover the universe on our own, without any interference. Or perhaps they're watching us from afar, studying our development like we do with animals in a zoo. But here's the ultimate irony. If we were to break out of the simulation, we would be no different than those aliens we're searching for. We would become the observers instead of the observed. So are we really living in a simulation? The evidence is certainly intriguing, but ultimately we can't say for sure. Perhaps we'll never know the true nature of our reality. But one thing is certain. The more we explore and understand the universe, the more questions we uncover. And who knows, maybe one day soon we'll find the answers. But now it's time for you to join the conversation. What do you think? Are we living in a simulation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you're still hungry for more, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the cosmos. Until next time, keep looking up and keep questioning. The universe has endless wonders in store for those who dare to explore.